Now it's like, I can't resist. Hi, guys. It's the Migas.
We're back with another lovely episode. And as Nora said, previous episode, make sure to take your time right now. Like, subscribe, comment below, follow, share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is how we grow. We are manifesting. This is our growth episode. So we growing. But we also need your participation.
Help us.
Help us. Help you.
Help.
Okay.
Help me. Help me. Hi.
Help me. I'm rich.
Yeah, seriously. Help me. I'm rich.
I was like, I'm not going to say that other thing that she said.
No. So, how's your week been?
How has my week been? It's definitely been a roller coaster of all the emotions. But I'll start with Sunday. Sunday was a beautiful day. Caleb began his Mandarin school. So I am so excited for him to immerse himself in new culture. And I absolutely always, again, like bow down and respect the Asian community and how they raise their children. Yes, some may see it as strict, but that strict creates, for me, how I see it, is discipline. And once you have, I feel like that is like the key to life, having that discipline. And also for him to be exposed and they don't just sit there and teach the language. It's literally like a half day of things going on. So they have a classroom setting. They also have a cafe. They have an area for like performances and ceremonies. So they do the classroom setting for the language teaching, and then they do what they call, I think it was extracurricular activities, where it's like martial arts. They teach them about like foods and like different. The school is completely vegetarian. They literally said no meat product allowed in here. So I was like, oh, I gotta think this through for his snacks. And then once his day gets extended, because the first month it's just until like midday. Then after that, it gets extended for like another hour to do the extracurriculars. So I'm like, ooh, I have to be mindful when I'm packing him, because like I was like, I can't even bring cheese up in here.
So no dairy
cheese,
either.
Cheese sticks are a big snack item for us. So on Sunday, what I did was I packed him some watermelons since he just needed a snack. And it was cute because he was like, I saved 2 pieces, one for you and one for daddy. I was like, thank you for being so thoughtful. And I did ask him, I was like, what was your favorite part of your day? He was like, everything. Aww. So I'm excited for him. And again, this goes to the power of sharing, because the reason how I found out about this school was through a mutual friend posting about her daughter's report card. And I was like, girl, more information, her report card from the Mandarin school. And her daughter's already, I think this is her 4th year attending the school. So the school starts all the way from pre-K.
Wow.
And it goes all the way up to 10th grade.
Oh, wow.
Which is amazing. And sure enough, I bumped into a coworker there as well. And she's actually like on the committee and like at the planning. They do a lot of like events. So one of the things that's coming up is their Halloween stuff. So my friend was like, we got to get on that team, because they do also make sure that the parents are involved. And you have to at least volunteer once throughout the school year, because the school runs from September all the way through I think the first Sunday of June. So again, busy boy, busy body, but it's for me all about just exposing him to as much as possible, and me making that commitment as well, that sacrifice to show up, even when I don't want to. But I know, again, the benefits that are going to, help him thrive. That's all I want to, see him, help him thrive, help him be as well-rounded as possible. So this is another thing I'm adding to his plate, our plate. But like I said, 100% worth it. And then after that, I'm not going to share like everything yet, because they haven't publicly shared. So I'll keep that to myself. But in our immediate family, something very special happened. But then unfortunately, the next day, something not so good happened. But it is truly for me a sign from God that they are protected, and what a beautiful way to start this next chapter of their lives. Hopefully by next episode, I can share exactly what, because I am beyond excited. So excited for what's to come. So sorry on that cliffhanger. And then, of course, everything that's been going on in the world. And it's just been a heavy week overall. I feel like it's been a heavy few past years, to be honest. And the biggest heartbreaking thing that I've seen overall, especially, again, we're here on social media, is the lack of humanity. That's what I'm going to say. Just the lack of humanity overall. Lives are lost, and we're here no matter what we agree with or not. We can't show any type of compassion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I'm going to say on that, because, again, that added to the whirlwind. And, of course, September 11th, it was the 24th anniversary, which is insane. Again, I'm sure everybody recollects their moment there. We've spoken about it on previous seasons. And I was in New York, going to school downtown. My dad worked downtown. Thank God that we were both in that borough together, because we weren't allowed to go back to our home borough at the time, which was the Bronx, until very late in the night. And if you were in New York or in the surrounding areas, you absolutely know the chaos of that day. And I'm just grateful, again, with all the events that has happened this past week, that my dad gets to come home, my husband gets to come home, everybody just gets to come home, because we literally it's so fragile. Like, it's a reminder of how fragile human life is. Any tragedy, because I still even remember the tragedy that happened in DR, the collapse of that roof.
Yep.
Instantly, people, you're there celebrating life. People were there celebrating birthdays. So let's put our BS to the side. There's no need to hate somebody by the color of their skin, what they look like, what they believe in, how they speak. Let's show each other love, because I truly believe with love cures absolutely everything. But in order for us to obviously project that, we also have to work on loving ourselves, working on our mental health, working on our heart posture, all of it, before we can give love to the world. And if you have nothing nice to say, just don't say it at all.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, call out injustices for sure. I'm all for that. But there's ways that we can literally have a discussion or a disagreement respectfully.
Yeah.
So, how was your week?
Well, it was pretty good. Kids started full week of school this week, so it was nice to have them in school.
The routine, right?
Yeah, so we're trying to do that, and then starting next week, that's when we'll get into like the therapies that Alina has to go. So I have to take her in the morning prior to school so that we can get all of that stuff done. So that's just a lot, but nothing I cannot handle. So I'll be fine. But yeah, to your point, this week was extremely heavy. It just made going on social media so disheartening, because you're just like,
wait, what?
Okay. But one thing should not be justifiable to something else. Like, it just does not make any sense to me. It does not compute. It doesn't click. Like, It's kind of like, when you tell someone like, oh, I'm having a bad day, and someone went up to you. Yeah, well, I had this day. Like, chill.
Yeah, it literally felt like there was a bunch of Dominican moms for me.
Like competing on who has it worse.
Right, and I'm who has the worst day? Are you kidding me?
It just, to your point, there's like, social media has literally plucked the humanity out of the world, to the point where, we're seeing atrocities left and right, horrible things, and we can stand and we can say things, and you go ahead, go do the marches, go do all these things. Like, if that's what you truly believe in, but to wish terrible things on someone for their belief, I'm just beside myself. But I digress, because then that's, just pulling on a string, and don't need,
Don't need anybody coming for us, because we're here
'cause
publicly speaking, freedom of speech. But here we go.
But here we go. On a little highlight,
right?
On a little highlight, my husband and I got each other a 10-year wedding anniversary gift. So we were talking about it for a long time. And we were like, what do we want to do? Do we want to go on a trip? Do we want to do this? Do we want to do that? We ended up getting a 1966 red Mustang coupe.
So hot.
She's so pretty. Still haven't named her. So we're, he's been so happy about it. Like he's taken Oliver out twice in the car and whatever. And Oliver's like, it's my Mustang. You can sit here and I'll drive. And I'm like, all right.
I'm excited just for all the photo shoots, like all the milestones. I'm just obviously thinking of Ollie with prom.
Yeah.
Like, hello, I'm gonna bring Caleb over, or bring the car over. We're gonna just
he's taking his date in the Stang. Like and we're gonna do some just some other things that we want to do. We want to do like the white racer stripe on it.
Love it.
We call it the Chinho Kelly
I already
stripe.
see like holiday photos.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All the things.
Put a little Christmas tree.
Okay, Rich.
We got you. That's it.
One eye photography.
Yep.
We're getting him hella jobs.
That's it.
Hella business.
So we wanted to really dive into this episode because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the Migas have a little shift going on here. Like
we shifting.
We shifting. We moving. Like when we said that this is going to be our redemption series and we're literally doing the work, it's because, I've been on this earth for 39 years and I'm so tired of walking not in my purpose because of everyone's limitation that's been set on me. Now, remember, I am first generation in this country. So I was, first granddaughter, first daughter. I'm oldest of 3. I come from a Muslim household. Like the thoughts of how my parents were raised and then coming here to the US, which is already a culture shock. There's so much limitation in I don't know. We're not considered a third world country because we're pretty but at the time.
It's like it's a
even developing country.
With the Dominican Republic, I thought it was literally still a third world country. But a few years ago, I did the research and it's considered now a developing country. We're going to talk economics. I did a little bit of economics in college. So so those limitations of where they were raised and like what jobs they can get because of where they were, what town they came from and all. That's something that's so hard to shake off. So when you're here and we're in the land of opportunity, literally, I could sit there and I could say, you know what? I'm going to be 40 next year, but I think I want to go back to nursing school. I can do that in my own free will. There's so many schools that it can be like, oh, I'm going to apply and go. And I can shift and do all these things. But it's the limitations that either friends, family, yourself, the devil are setting on you that you truly believe it because it's that voice in your head and it's very hard. But what we're going to talk about in this episode is, baby, you are the exception to the rule. Okay. Don't forget that.
So we got some notes.
And we're going to explan. So bring out the notebook.
Hold on. Let me get comfortable right now.
Because we got our notebooks. And I even got my pen out because I'm about to take notes from Nora.
Turn up. All right. I just want to make this completely clear. Like, I'm going to set this line.
My check 1 2 1 2. You heard her?
Hello?
She said
hello,
she's going to make it completely clear.
We're not talking about some dusty musty, someone's whack ASS child that's stringing you along and you're like, but daddy, I love him. I can No, that is not the exception of the rule, mommy. Like that is set your boundaries. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about wholeheartedly what you can control in your own life. You cannot control other people, how they behave, but you can control how they react and treat you. So we're not letting crusty, dusty daughter or son come over here and be like, but baby, I love you. And then they have 10 other girls on the side. No, we're not doing that today.
Because that is manipulation.
That is manipulation.
And that is a huge red flag.
Yes.
So
If
it's happening to you right now, stop.
Stop.
Red means stop.
Yeah. and go away from them. So do
Right.
yourself that favor. So when we're saying you are the exception to the rule, it is what you can control in your life. So here are some examples. All right.
Classes in
Classes in session. A lot of times, whenever, say, you have this dream, right? Okay, perfect example. We want to start a podcast. Great. Talking about it with our friends, blah, 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 blah. There's always going to be somebody who also tried to start a podcast and it didn't take off. Great. That was not in line and in the cards for you. But what is that? That's a limitation that they have on themselves. So what happens? From their experience, they project it onto you. Oh, so you're going to start a podcast? The initial investment's very expensive.
I tried that. It didn't work.
It didn't work. I couldn't reach the audience, now with the algorithm and this and all of these things. And
I'm hearing excuses.
And that is their limitation that they project on you from the fear or love, because it could be both. Because you can have a hater who's drinking that haterade, and then you can have someone who loves you so much, and they're just like,
they don't want to see you
want you to going through.
They don't want to see you go through the struggle, but never realizing that at the end of the struggle, there's a big trophy.
Exactly.
Winner. There's a checkered flag. You made it.
Exactly. So you need to walk in this life that it's rigged in your favor. You haven't, but it's not going to come easy because you need to do the work.
Right.
That's the difference. So you do the work, you live it like it's already yours. So apply for a job and you look at the qualifications and you're just like, yeah, you saw it. You believed in those seconds. You believed, damn, I could do this. You sit in your power, and say,
Tall and proud.
yep. I'm going to put that out there, and guess what? If it's meant for me, it's for me, but I got it. I got it in the bag. It's mine. No one will take what is for you away from you. If it's not for you, it wasn't for you, like it wasn't made for you.
Right.
And it's so easy to be like, just to kind of take other people's, everybody else has done it. Or,
Yeah.
That's their fear.
Right. They set and again, I guess this is always me just looking for that silver lining. It's just the way that my brain has always just been set up. So I love that we're talking about this. With those people, they have set the blueprint.
Yes.
And sometimes you can go ahead and copy paste. You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
If you were inspired by that person and you reached out to them like Nora told you to do last episode, set that coffee date for them, and you hit copy paste, that's totally fine. And if the person that saw you copy paste feels some type of way, that's that person that needs to work on themselves. That has nothing to do with you.
Yep. And it's so crazy that everybody, like when you're looking to, like, we're going to just keep talking like as if it's like a career shift, right? A lot of the way that we're thinking now, the way that our mindset is right now, it's like, oh, okay. So what's the probability? Is the math going to math versus the possibility of you believing in yourself, doing the work your way, how it's comfortable for you, and going out there and doing it. And I'm going to go right back because we said this last time, like Rihanna. Rihanna said, I don't care if there's X amount of beauty, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to come out with Fenty Beauty because there is a gap. There's a gap for all the different shades for women. There's a gap in this. And I'm just going to go out there and I have this opportunity. I'm going to do it. Do you think she cared?
Right.
That there's a MAC, L'Oreal, it doesn't matter.
Right. Even look at like the whole thing with Amazon, like
Yes.
Walmart, all the things, even Target is up there
Yes.
competing. And then even like Shein. And then here comes Temu. Nobody cares what the other person is doing. And that's the importance of, again, staying in your lane, watering the crap out of your grass daily, consistently. And I wanted to share and then miracles, like we're saying, like forget about the probabilities. Like miracles live in faith.
Mm-hmm.
Miracles live in faith. And God will always want you to win.
Why would he not want his? We are made in
he
his
designed
image.
us. He
Exactly.
designed
Why
us.
would he wish ill on, like, even his fallen angel
Right.
didn't wish anything bad. Like, it was heartbreaking when you read the story. And it's like, you're here. You're not, like, you're a good person. Like, despite what people may think about, like, I don't like so-and-so. Well, that's your, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm sitting here being apothic wine baby. Like, you know, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, God wants you to win. He wants you to win.
And be in your, and walk in your truth.
And your true purpose.
Yes.
What is your purpose of being in this world? What can you share that's authentically you, and only you can do it?
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be like, we're not all over here being MLKs walking and you know, like, let's do a whole big No, it could, here's a perfect example. Cindy, her walking pad. We got a cult following, y'all. Like, we have
It's a whole
cult.
movement.
It's a movement.
I love
and
it.
It is
I love it.
beautiful because one change that she made with, I'm just going to do it out here. No, and it wasn't like, I feel like this is what happens. When you have a passion for something, our brains, especially now with social media, we're instantly like, it needs to be a business. How can I monetize? How can I do XYZ elemental P? You got on there. I'm doing a 50-mile challenge. You're more than welcome. You tag, no frills, no, let's shout it. Like, no, she put her walking pad signal up there and everybody was like, let's go. Let's get this walk on. And 1% better
every
each
day. And shout out to obviously Liz and also Daniela. She literally she sent me a DM. She was like, from all the posts, all the 50 miles and reposting everybody. She was like, you're really out here, and I'm literally getting chills. She was like, you're out here doing God's work because you're here motivating people to truly be their best selves.
Yeah.
And that's what this podcast is for. Like, we're here sharing our experience, sharing our lived experiences to let you know that what you're going through right now, you're not going through it alone. There's someone out there, whether it's one of us, somebody within your community that's going through it. But if we're not speaking out, you're not speaking your truth, you're hiding in your shame and your sin. We're all sinners. We all have lived in shame at some point. But like I said, I refuse to sit in it. Mm-hmm. I am the exception to the rule because I refuse, again, to be a victim of any shame, of any sin. What I do though, I'm accountable. I repent. I repent daily, because again, I'm working on the cursing.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, sugar honey iced tea, this and that. Even when I was doing takeover on stories the other day, I was doing like my curly hair, trying to do a curly hair routine. And I'm like, yo, why did the thing bleep me out? Did I curse? And then, so again, reviewing back to hold myself accountable. And I'm like, okay, those are still things that I need to work on, and it's okay. Mm-hmm. But I am walking in my truth. And like you said, it feels so good over here. So good over here. And once you get to this side, you'll completely understand what our Delulu brains are talking about.
Yeah.
But 1%.
1%
better every day. Please. Please.
So one thing that we definitely want you to practice, and this is something, write it down, put it on a Post-it on your mirror, put it on your screensaver. When someone projects their limitation onto you. So for example, right now, the big thing is like, what is it? Gen X? No, Gen Z? Who are these youngins coming up right now?
And I know it's Generation Alpha.
Yeah. So no,
like
the ones that are like in the workforce, like behind us. So not millennials, the ones after the millennials.
I think it's
okay.
Z.
Right. So Gen Z, I don't know, man. Y'all are all over the place, but Gen Z.
We love you guys.
Yeah,
though.
we do.
We see you guys trying. I appreciate
Gen Z
it.
is like, how am I supposed to afford a house? How am I supposed to afford it? And everyone, it's misery loves company. So you're all being put in that mindset. How am I supposed to? By doing the work. And guess what? This is what you're going to put down, and this is how you're going to respond. Respectfully. That does not apply to me. Money's hard to make. That does not apply. Respectfully, that does not apply to me. I am a money magnet. Money comes easy to me. Opportunities are always knocking and I'm always there. I am deserving of this opportunity. Oh yeah, this house, it just happened to be divine timing. I found this house at the best time. My husband and I have bought multiple properties. And every time I sat there and I'm like, I have a good feeling about this house. I have a good feeling. And I would walk into the space and envision exactly where everything was going. And then, guys, this is literally, it's gonna shock you guys to the core because it's insane. Because so many moving pieces happened in order for this to happen, which I'm like, yes.
Alignment.
Yeah, alignment. So when we had our house in Totowa, I don't live there anymore, so I don't care if you guys know. When we had that house.
It's a pretty big town.
Yeah.
You would even.
So when we lived there, like, I envisioned it, whatever, but then so many things started happening that I was just like, I don't think that this house is for us anymore. And I envisioned and said, you know what would be perfect? And I said this to Alberto. I said, you know what would be perfect? If we bought your parents' house. If we bought your parents' house, that would be great because there's enough space. And I know that your mom and dad worked so hard and that was her dream home. She would pass it all the time and see it. And she's like, oh, I love this house. When it sells, I'm going to buy it, blah, blah. And for me, it was more of like a sentimental thing. And I kept saying, yes, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. 2020 comes, all of a sudden, they get the bright idea to move to Florida. They were going to have Mabel live there. And she was like, nah, I want to move too. So the house was going to be put on the market. And I said, oh my God, why don't we just buy it? And that's exactly, and everything worked out. Like if you've bought a house, sometimes it's 1, 2, 3, 4 months.
Facts.
Of just nonsense.
And I was like, I'll share my house story after.
This was literally 2 weeks. Here's
Bada
everything,
bing,
blah,
bada
blah, blah,
boom.
blah, whatever. Notary comes, we sign all the paperwork, we close, we're done, we're here. I'm like, it was so crazy. That's and beautiful. Our first night sleeping there was the first night I had rest in years.
Wow.
Because in the other house, like I'll tell you guys some crazy things, but I couldn't sleep in that house. I was woken up every hour. I could not sleep in that house.
Wow.
So then coming here, I literally knocked out and I had a sore throat the next day because of all the snoring I did because I was so tired.
That's how much of a good sleep.
Yeah, but again, I walked into that seat and I was like, this house is mine. I envisioned myself opening the door, what I would do with each room, how I would change it, how I would change the kitchen, how I would change this, and now if you guys follow me on my page, my little projects are coming around. And I'm living in that because I spoke it and I'm like, I'm the exception to the rule. This is going to be my house.
I love that.
So
I love that. I'll share because that just reminded me again, and this is another thing in alignment with the exceptions to the rule. When Kelvin and I bought our first house, it's literally, I look back and it just adds to, again, your story of your life.
Yeah.
How do you make your life interesting is by going out there and taking some crazy risk. So I remember, we were already together, like officially together for a year. And we were like, thinking of like living together because we were either spending time at his parents' house or at my parents' house. And I was like, okay, like what's the budget? Let's start looking for apartments. But I always said, and this goes, you have to be mindful of what you put out there. I always said, I was like, the day I leave my parents' home, it's because I'm going to move into my own home. I was like, I refuse to pay anybody else's mortgage via rent when my parents are still paying mortgage on their home. I'd rather than give money to my parents to help them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, as a thank you, as a way to present gratitude. But I was like, you know what? Let's just try, I guess, like looking. So I think I remember the budget was like $1,800. And this was, again, how many years ago now? Almost like over 10 years ago. So obviously we know, like even now, I don't know what you can find in the state of New Jersey for that.
Studio apartment.
Right.
A closet.
So, or unless, you have a deal with the family friend. Anyways, we started looking and all of the apartments were literally basement apartments, all of them with street parking. Mind you, Calvin at his parents' home had his driveway where he just pulled up, parked his car, and I had the same thing at my parents'. And I was just like, ooh, I don't know about this. Like coming back home, and we're both working in the city at the time. Coming back home after a long day in the city to like drive around from the train station to then to get back home to find parking. I was like, this feels like I'm taking a step back. So I was just like, and again, apartment after apartment that we saw, everything was street parking. And at that time we had 2 cars. So it was either going to come down to the point of just having 1 car, whatever. We're just trying to work out the logistics. But then, and again, this is probably the Holy Spirit himself was like, put it in my head to tell Calvin, like, hey, how do you feel about buying a house? Mind you, we're boyfriend and girlfriend at this time. And he was just like, I don't think I'm ready for that. And I was like, honestly, I am not either. Because obviously we both see the responsibilities of owning a home based off of our parents' experiences. And I was just like, you know, F it. Let's try. And this dude, he was just like, I was like, okay, so like, what's your credit score? Because that's the most important thing that you need when you're applying for a home loan or pre-approval. And he was like, what do you mean? Our homie did not have a credit score for like over 2 years because he had gone into his credit card debt, completely decided to, you know, just not do credit whatsoever. So I was just like, oh, okay. So then I was just like, I know my credit score at that time was not the best. And I had like some student loan stuff. I was literally just graduating college, a hot mess, like the math was not mathing according if you're going to look at the probabilities and all that stuff. But I was just like, you know what? I'm going to hit up so-and-so and just see what we could afford. Like, well, the pre-approval was literally like something so ridiculously low. But I was just like, all right, I guess, you know, we got to just look in this area. So that's what we went ahead and did. I remember the first house we saw was the first house, the house that we ended up buying, because we only saw one other house after that. Our options were very limited for what we were approved for. And I remember that second house that we went to see, we're like, oh no, this is like too much of a fixer-upper. And again, the math was, we were obviously then at that point, we had to get smart with the numbers. Like, okay, what can we actually afford? Mind you, so we ended up getting the house, but it was a short sale. So that took over 6 months for the closing to happen. And through that, I remember still like always driving by the house since it was closer to my parents' house, driving by, and I was just, and I would like be with random people in the car. I'm like, hey, look, that's my future house. That's my future house. To the point that my mom was like, oh, you got to stop showing people. Then, you know, like the whole like evil eye and stuff. And I remember always saying, I was like, if it's for me, it's for me. I don't care about no evil eye, no bad, your bad energy, your projections. I just didn't care. I was like, that is my house. And I would literally have dreams of exactly how, the same thing how you said you walked through, how that house was going to freaking look. And sure enough, once everything worked out, again, like 6 months freaking later, then it took another like roughly like 5 months to fix. But what we ended up paying in mortgage for that house was way lower than that $1,800 budget, $1,800 a month budget that we had for rent. So I was like, look at God. And then taking that risk back then paid off tremendously. Like it literally set the tone for our future and in the home that we are in now. Yeah. And again, looking from the outside and you're like, oh my God, they're so lucky, they're so lucky. No, we took those risks. We believed in it. And I also, like I said, it was also my belief and pushing that onto my now husband. So we got engaged in that house. We had a baby in that house. We had our wedding in that house. Like that house held a lot of memories. Yeah. But then I also knew that came to that point that I'm like, okay, I think it's time to move on to that next project. And when the numbers ended up working out for us to sell, and then we had the opportunity to move into my parents' house. So that, I wouldn't say we did a lot of probability. It was just, again, taking that risk, like, okay, let's sell. Like it was, 2021, when the market was like, it was a seller's market. I think it probably still kind of is. So now, again, looking back, it's just like, I'm glad that we took those risks. I feel like you'll never regret taking a risk because you either grow from it or it benefits you or both. You know, again, there's a risk may bring some setbacks in that moment, but then when you look back, like let's say 10, 20 years from now, you will say to yourself, you know why that happened. And again, it's that alignment, that being that exception to the rule. Yeah. it's all 100% possible, but you have to, like they say, the biggest pharmacy sits between our two ears. This right here, this right here. What you're telling your brain on a daily basis, that's how you're going to see the world.
Exactly.
Through those, whatever, if you put on ugly color lenses, everything is going to be ugly. If
you put on rose-colored glasses,
everything's
everything's going to be
rosy and peachy.
Yes, yes. So again, life, and live as if life is rigged in your favor. You are the exception to the rule. Whatever you say, there's no dream that's too big. There's literally no dream that's too big. Like some of these, Steve Jobs, what's his name? Sorry. Jeff Bezos started Amazon bookstores in his garage.
Right. And the same thing with Steve Jobs, all garages.
Yeah,
they all and it's such amazing stories to study. Again, whether you believe in what they're doing or not, study these people. One thing you could do for yourself is study these people that have
already laid out the blueprint.
Right.
They literally already laid out the blueprint for you. It's there. And you're in a position, a place that is, no dream is too big. Like, I still remember listening to Jim Carrey's story, that he would sleep in, I think it's like the Comedy Cellar, like all these and he would sleep on the couch. And he just did not know where his next meal is going to come from, where he just did not know. But what he did know was the fact that he wanted to do this as a career. And look at him now.
Thriving.
Like so many actors. The Rock coming here. What did he say? He had I forget how much in his pocket or whatever, and he knew he had to make it. And he came from like a football background, was going to do all these major things, and then it ended up not working in his favor. And then his father, even though he was a big wrestler at some time, like The Rock had to pave his own way. Like now you're just like, oh, I still remember. Do you smell what the Rock
is cooking?
Is cooking.
And I love, again, to see stories like that, because again, what you think, again, as a child, like, oh, I'm going to dream, I'm going to be this dream, and you do that, and then it doesn't turn out how you intended it to be. It's because that wasn't your path. It was a redirection for you to then realign and walk on the path that was already laid out for you before you were even created. And that's like the beautiful thing of this journey of life, is trying to figure out like, okay, dude, aka God, God, what is it that I am supposed to be doing? What is my purpose? So when you align your dreams with faith, it is such a beautiful, like skipping down the yellow brick road type of thing. Again, once you get into that mindset, and I'm going to keep saying it, keep drilling it into your brains, because you have to get here. You have to get here. Come meet us on this side. And if you're already
let's go on the yellow brick road together.
And if you're here, like, hit us up on the DMs. Let's hang out. Like, let's hang out. This is the type of people we want to hang out with. And if you are looking to improve your life and get better, also come hang out with us. Yeah. Now, if you don't care to make any change or whatever, this is not the place for you. True. Because we are the exception to the rule over here. And we will continue to. We've been walking that way without even realizing it. And now that we're like, whoa, lipo, we've been walking this way for such a long time. It's truly like beautiful to, again, like embody and stand and sit in that power that we've been had. Yeah. And then that for me, like looking back, I was like, it explains
so much.
The hater, the little side comments, this and that. And I'm like, sorry, dude, that was all jealousy being projected. Wow. Yeah. And I was just like, if that was a jealousy being projected back then, I can only imagine the jealousy being projected now. Yeah. And all I'm going to do for you is pray for you and love on you, because I have literally no hate in my heart for people who are thinking that way. Yeah. So.
And you know, it's so crazy. There's such a shift. So as you guys know, I love my design decor, like all that stuff. And that's been something that has been in my core and in like for years, for eons, pretty much. And anytime I would do, like, even when I would be in college, like before, because now if you go on Pinterest and you see like college dorms, you're like, what in God's name? Like,
I know it's
like what headboard sorcery is this?
Wait,
like,
wait. On a sidebar, have you seen like when they get accepted into college?
Yes.
Like
Insanity.
the bed parties.
Yeah. Insanity. So,
Like like people have to hire someone to go do a whole balloon arc in the color.
Did you see the balloon arches in the sororities?
No, ma'am.
One lady did all for like this specific college, and it's all the sororities on that thing, and she did the arches, and they're so intricate and beautiful. It's ridiculous. I'm like, what just happened to keg parties at the frat house? Like, I just don't understand the two that I went to in my time in college. But when I was in college and I only dormed 1 year because everybody's crazy. I would fix my room to the best of my ability, like just to what I could do. So like I would get like, certain pieces, and there would be people walking, like, go check out Nora's room. No. And the thing is like you could see the split. So between me and my roommate, like you could see the split. And no, hers is brighter, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, imagine if I could throw on some paint on here. Like, it would be so
it's
different.
I know you haven't watched Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it's literally like that.
Like the room.
It's like, it was just
like the dark
that.
and all the colorful.
Yes.
I love it.
It was like that. And like, even like down to my laptop, like how I'm just extremely particular about a lot of things. And the thing is that brings me so much joy that I can do. And my Delulu self, in my head, I'm like, that's not hard. Because for me, that isn't hard. But like, if you make me sit down and listen to people talk about crypto, I'm like, what in God's name?
Then don't sit with Chris, my brother, because he will
like,
he'll actually educate you though, because Carolyn learned from him. So you know, Carolyn, I love you.
Love you. But if he can break it down for me,
right? Because she was like, I understand crypto.
No, because like Alberto loves that stuff. So when he gets into something, investments, and I'm like, what? And he goes, don't you have a degree in finance? I'm like, yeah, but I got through it. I'm like, sir.
And I'm not 6'5", something, whatever. I'm just in finance.
A man in finance.
I'm just in finance.
I was like, I'm just in finance. But like, it's what I keep getting pulled into it, being called to it. Like, even down to my cubicle. I'm not going crazy with anything at work, but every time somebody comes in, they're like, oh my God, this is so peaceful. I'm like, thanks. Like, this is the vibe that I want. But when you're called to something, it keeps pulling you back.
Facts.
And I was talking to a group of my girlfriends, and I was like, okay, guys, I have an idea for something that I want to do. Every single one of them said, your own interior design? And I was like, no.
Yeah, because we all be knowing. We all be knowing what you need to be doing.
I'm like, no. And they're
and
like,
that's how you know you're surrounded by the right people.
Yeah. And then I was talking to my friend, and she goes, listen, Nora, I know how you are, and I know that you love to help people. She's like, but you need to start putting a price on your work.
Absolutely.
She's like, you're a mother. You have 3 children. And I'm like,
value.
I'm like, okay, so there's a lot of people telling me, but I'm stuck in my own fear and limitation and not walking as I'm an exception to the rule. Because when I sit there and I see Netflix and I see, what is it? Studio McGee. She has a beautiful, I forget the name of the show, but I think she's like 3 seasons in. I'm like, how can I compete with that? She's only in freaking Colorado. Who cares? When you see like the twin brothers, the design bros, whatever, and you see all these things, you're like, oh, but there's so many people. I'm thinking here, when I should not care what is happening in everybody else's garden, because I'm on the Nora show. I'm doing my own thing. I'm like, I need to be content with where I don't need to have it photocopied like someone, that's their pinnacle of success. Mine is to be able to provide a service that fills my cup, makes people's homes beautiful, and is allowing me to share that creative side of me, because at the end of the day, ever since I was a kid, I've always been a creative. when I do mundane tasks, I get into such a deep depression that it's so debilitating. When I can't create, when I can't think out the box because I'm allowing other people's limitations and fears to seep into my soul, because you're working in an office, it's a 9 to 5. You get your paycheck every single week.
You're sticking to the job description like you mentioned before.
Yes.
When you're not allowed to branch out, you have to
stay in a box. And I'm like, nah, homie, I don't work in a box. I work in a triangle. I'm all up in this circle.
I work in a star. I work in a star.
I work in a rhombus. But it's crazy because when you're still doing the work, and there's always going to be that little bit of doubt. But what are we going to say, guys? Sorry. Respectfully, that does not apply to me. That does not apply to me.
I love it.
I'm here. I'm walking in my purpose, and I'm ready to live my dream. Like, I put it all over the place. Like, you see my budget book. I'm a money magnet. Money's so easy to me. I 2 days ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell these 2 items on Facebook Market. And they've been on my Facebook Market for months. And I was like, no, let me do it right now. And I've been trying to get these things out of my house, but it was out of sight, out of mind. I didn't pay attention to it. But I focused. I was like, this can't be here anymore.
Which reminds me, we have 2 things over here in our background that we need to put on
Facebook Market.
Don't worry, it's not you, Rich.
Puts Rich on Facebook Market.
No, and to piggyback on what you're saying, I wanted to add this. You don't find alignment by waiting. You find it by moving forward, even when no one's watching. And that's how the right people know where to find you. So you can't just sit on your couch and expect the world to align with you. Now, if you're sitting on your couch and you are on social media, I hope you're not sitting there just scrolling, consuming all this content. I hope you're going on social media and posting content. Post and then get off of it and then go do something physically around your house. And then come back and post content again. I'm like, we're here literally doom scrolling, and I know you do it. Doom scrolling on other people's content when we could literally be taking that time to create it ourselves and add to somebody else scrolling, because people are going to watch.
Yeah.
So let's give them something to talk about, to watch.
Instead of doom scrolling, they're going to be boom scrolling, because they're going to see us and be like, boom! It's an amazing idea.
So and that's something that we've been working on with the Migas Instagram, is staying consistent with that, because I'm like, oh wait, I didn't go on and post. I didn't go on and post on my personal page. Did we go on and post on the Migas and back and forth? And it's like the consistency. Because of course, maybe we'll post a couple reels. They may not track, and who cares? But it's up there. We are creating our virtual portfolio. That means when some heavy duty person comes in that's in alignment with our plan, sees it like, wow, these girls have stayed consistent. Because at the end of the day, that's right now our public resume.
Yeah.
That's literally our virtual resume. The same way as this YouTube channel is, all the things. And that's when you know you are in alignment to your goal, when it feels good. Like I get happy when I go on Instagram to post.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, this is exciting. I was just like, whatever hashtags. And I was like, I'm not even going to go crazy. Like, oh, I know you have to be using this and that. I'm like, I'm going to post whatever feels good.
Exactly.
And move on.
It's not calculated.
I'm not going to overthink it or this or that. Now, if I'm making a reel and I need it to be specific, which on my personal page, I am bringing you guys a Bad Bunny reel this week, because I was literally waiting for the concert his residency to finish, which it just wrapped up. We're releasing this on a Monday.
So this is his last week?
This is his last 3. He just did his last 3 concerts when this episode comes out. So
this weekend.
Yeah. This past weekend it was.
The girls are there.
Yeah. And so is Anna.
Yeah.
Anna's there. Shout out to you. I hope you had an amazing time. I literally told her she's literally attending the last one.
Wow.
I was like, I am guaranteed sure that you are in for a treat. Because I remember we had went on a concert on a Friday. That Sunday, he brought out literally everyone. And Coven was like, God dang it. He was like so upset. And I was just like, hey, we were there when we were supposed to be there.
But
And
you got the feeling, you got to feel the
absolutely,
love, all that stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, all that whole like alignment thing, and even Bad Bunny himself being a creative, like so inspiring, like what he does, and he just focuses on like what he knows. And it's funny that people are like, "Oh my God, I didn't even know that like he is an actor." Like, how did that come about? I was like, I'm not 100% sure exactly how he got there, but I'm so proud of him because, especially with the language barrier, he sat there, he owned it. And he's just literally, he is walking in his power. So if he could do it, we can all do
you
it.
can see it.
Yes, yes.
Because
and
I
then he even
still
had to,
remember-
and then he had to take that step back.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that he did that. And sometimes we have to do that. And as creatives, because again, you'll get overwhelmed, or if you're too focused on what the world.
Yeah, because I still remember when he first came out, and I love that his sound was so different or whatever. And guys, I speak zero, well, no, not zero Spanish. I speak like 47% Spanish.
47, very
47%. But it's really Dominican, so there's that, and then some Peruvian slang here and there. So like,
and now with Bad Bunny, so
yeah.
you see a Boricua.
yeah, and you know my brother-in-law is Puerto Rican.
There
so
you go.
Look at that.
You got a little sprinkle. You got all the.
But you saw how he was trying to conform to everybody else. So like trying to look like how Daddy Yankee was, and like when he was like with Faruco, like all that, like they were all just kind of morphing together, like that, like just very. But when he took that step back and did his own thing, I feel like his catalyst that set him, that trajectory for him, was when he teamed up with J Balvin, and he was just like pairing with somebody else that has a whole nother style than you. Very different culture. Very, like, even though you're both Latinos, it's still very different. That was an eye-opening experience for him to see, I'm going to just take a step back, go to my roots, and see what art I want to put out there. And that's when his look changed, his just demeanor, how his style, everything about him, and just being and I'm like, you know what? Wow. Like, I'm your fan. Like, I'm a fan of you. I will support
like I said,
how
can you not be?
Yeah.
You know, and again, he also speaks out a lot on injustices and doesn't give a flying crap of what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
You know, he was there in Puerto Rico with his people when they literally took the governor out of their White House over there. Like, you gotta go. He was in the streets with his people marching. I was just like, it's very few celebrities
J-Lo,
that I
take
can
notes.
see that I can see. I mean, the thing is with her, obviously, like she wasn't born on the island, so I get it. It's the same thing like with Mark Anthony.
Yeah.
Like but there are a lot of artists, but he knew how to use his platform. And obviously still does. So always, forever, kudos to him. And again, there may be some things that he says that I don't agree with, but guess what? I still love you for the person that you are and for all the changes that you have been doing. Like, how can you not love that? And like I said, we don't have to like absolutely every single thing about the person sitting next to us or whatever, but we can respectfully show them love.
And that's the thing. What we're lacking. What's being common decency and respect. If you're that they don't, that's fine. That's fine. That's what's beautiful about life. We're not all in a box. It's not like Pleasantville where everything is exactly the same.
Right.
Like, we're able to have different opinions, different thoughts. And if it angers you, and like, you can respectfully take a step back, but breathe. If it's
process
process and then come back. Like, you can't hate someone for having, there's some people who are just like really out of pocket, but that's when you have to sit back and you have to think, maybe this person I'm not supposed to be around this person anymore. And no hate, no animosity.
No animosity, yeah.
We're just going to take a step back, and I don't think that we align. We're at the end of our chapter. The book has been closed. We're starting a new series.
Right.
So, but let's wrap it up. Remember, respectfully, that does not apply to me. I am the exception to the rule.
Yes.
Walk that way, talk that way, be that way.
And I'm going to share a couple of gems to wrap it up, and some food for thought for yourself, to help you in your growth, to help you step into your power. So one of the things, and I got on a very dope call on Monday. So now I'm going to get on that call today. Again, if you're listening to this on Monday, She's hosting it every Monday night. Her name is Rosana. You can DM me. I can tag her. She also is the one that does, I think it's Pravado jewelry. This is actually the earrings that I'm wearing right now are from her line. So one of the things that I took from her call was, and it's called her movement is called When Sleeping Women Awake.
Ooh.
So it's definitely in alignment with what we're talking about here, with being the exception to the rule. So one of the things that she asked us is, when offered criticism, how do you respond? With are you offended? Or do you see it as an opportunity to grow? So again, when you're being offered constructive criticism, are you instantly just going to be petty or whatever, or bite back? Or are you going to, again, take that moment, like Nora said, to pause, breathe, and process? Another thing also, we are called to push forward aggressively. We have to be the exception to the rule aggressively to get closer to our calling. And for me, every time, even like, again, with the walks and fitness, I'm like, ooh, maybe fitness is part of the bigger picture for me. I truly get joy and fulfillment from the obedience that I've had, the discipline that I've had for the past year, and the growth that I've seen in my fitness. Because I've always been into fitness, but never as consistently as this before, because I know at this point, my life is truly depending on it. And remember, fools are destroyed by their own complacency. And us as a society, we have become too complacent. Us millennials, we are meant to be, and we are, at least Nora and I, as a living, walking example, we are the chain breakers. And we carry that proudly. That means that we're shifting our mindset, the mindset that we were raised in. She was raised with a very strong mother. I was as well, very opinionated, very projecting their flaws onto us. But we decided, like, no, when is enough enough? So don't be complacent in what has been projected to you. And yes, 1% better every day, but be part of that 1%. And what do I mean by that? That 1% that is actually taking charge of their health, moving their bodies, because we've made, unfortunately, obesity a norm. I'm sorry, I refuse to be the exception to the rule on that. That, respectfully, that does not apply to me. And the last thing I'm going to say is, your future self is begging you to move. Move with a purpose. Move in your calling. Walk in your power. Let's go, girl. Let's go, women. Let's go, boys. Let's go, man. Let's go, laddie-daddy. Everybody. Conchale.
Everybody in the club, get moving.
Hey, I like that. Put it on the shirt.
Yeah, that's right. Migas merch.
Migas merch. Well, I love you guys.
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share. If this resonated with you, please do so. We love you guys.
Thank you for being here. We love you. Respect you. And zero hate.
Yep, that's right. And remember, respectfully, that does not apply to me.
Go show your neighbor some love.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye.
I can't resist.